Happy New Year, everybody. And this time, I know what's going on. I know what's going on, guys.
It's VanGo After Dark. That's what's going on.
The root time.
It's worse. It's worse than that. VanGo was good too. We all went into debt over the break, didn't we? We blew the Christmas budget.
Terrible. Terrible. How was yours? A lot of debt for you?
No, I definitely blew the budget, but luckily, I'm a modest spender.
How big was your budget?
I really wanted new rims.
Snow tires don't count, actually. None of that counts.
That was a necessity.
That is a necessity. Even though we don't even get any snow out here, it's just life.
Safety first. Safety first. A couple months ago, I mashed up my last car because I didn't have snow tires. I can't really think of any other good reason.
A couple of months ago, eh? You needed snow tires a couple months ago?
A year ago, yo. Wait.
It's about a year now. It was like last February. Last February I was driving. Actually, we were both driving. We were going to go and we were driving over to Futuristic, just cruising down the road, chit-chatting about random things. And then all of a sudden, car starts spinning. We went nuts. Flying around. Anyways, don't skip on snow tires.
It's an investment, not an expense. This is like the prime time for debt. The really interesting thing I noticed with advertising, not sure if you guys noticed that, a lot of these campaigns, I heard 3 back to back, and it was all treat yourself.
Oh,
that was the whole theme of the thing. Is like, you know what? You bought everything for everybody. Now treat yourself.
Just keep on spending. Keep on spending.
Baby. You earned it.
Yeah. We have. Alright, sorry. There was Ash was just talking about winter tires. Yeah, we're just talking about debt. You know, it's an interesting topic. So this year, this season of VanGo After Dark, we're going to do a little bit different. We do a lot of discussions, bring up some topics, and we really want to hear what you guys have to say about it. Like debt. Did you guys go into debt? What was your debt looking like? You know, another interesting thing we found was that the interest rate that people are paying on their debt has been on the rise as well, which. Yeah. That's a tough thing. You know, debt is one thing, but it's this high interest, especially, that causes a lot of problems.
The credit card debt, that's real bad.
You know, you got 20% credit card debt, and you're always in this little loop, and then you miss one payment, now your credit's shitty, and now you got Canada Drives knocking on your door trying to give you a 20% car. And they're really good. They're really good at getting you, and that's the thing. For all these different avenues, it's not that people are dumb. It's just that these avenues are really good at getting you. You know, and that it's that whole. Don't worry about it. Don't worry. Just use it. Just pay for it later.
There's that, but I mean, I don't want to call people dumb, but some people are just not as informed. I know like a few people, they bluff these numbers really bad. They don't really know. I know quite a few people who ended up with like 29% car loans.
What? It is tough because like even that Canada Drives, for example, unless you really know what you're looking for, it's very easy to mask it. And then the other thing I've seen, you know, in my past experience in consulting, a lot of time business owners get scammed into like their different things like low interest or this or that, and there's always kind of loopholes. And I think the biggest thing is knowing or recognizing that you have that kind of gap in the knowledge, and so you can supplement it with others. So like for example, dealing with the banks, they might say the interest rate is so low, but if they're charging you a set fee every year, and you start thinking about these things, okay, so the loan is 20 grand and the fee is $1,000 a year, that's a 5% fee, 5% in interest. So it's like, there's a lot more to consider than just the interest rate.
I really like that analogy when it comes to stuff. It's the whole pie analogy. You take a little bit of the slice now or a big slice later, doesn't matter. You're still ending up with the whole pie. Yeah. They'll move the numbers however, whatever looks good to you.
Yeah. If I come to you and here you go, here's your Christmas gift, and I give you like an Xbox or something like that.
Why do you put that responsibility on me, man?
And now you're like next year, like, oh, damn it. You got me an Xbox. Shit.
I hope the Xbox is still relevant so I can re-gift it.
And so there is that. And so like there's so many different aspects to this whole thing. I think it really comes down to just kind of having control, starting from scratch, start from the basics. Look at your budget. Look, I have this much money. This is how much I can use for gifts. And then you start slicing out the ones where you don't have a choice. Let's say there's a company Christmas party and they're doing something. Well, you obviously have no choice. Secret Santa. There you go. So you start shaving these ones out of your budget so that they later on can't come up and say, I have to do this. I don't have a choice, but now I don't have money left. It's like, get those out of the way first. And those are usually the ones where you have the most discretion in terms of how much you can spend. And then you start listing off, like, you know, the other ones that you have to, like your parents and your siblings. And if you have a girlfriend, boyfriend, wife, husband, whatever it is, obviously they should be on the list. All these different ones, put them on the list, allocate the budgets to each one, and then do your best to try to get them done within those budgets. And one of the best things is start early. If you start in early November, you have November and December and Black Friday to get your shopping done.
Yeah.
So that really helps a lot. I know my wife always, Black Friday is the best because then, especially the cool things that they're trying to clear out, you can really fill up, like make it look like there's 10, 20 things, but really just Black Friday clearances. Just go.
It's one thing when you're giving cash because it has that, when you're giving cash, it's like, oh shit, I'm giving away my money. But when you're just, tapping the card, it just flows so quickly. I feel a little bit when I go and give someone cash, even if it's something so small like $20 or whatever. But when I tap my card for $20, it doesn't really mean too much. So that's a huge thing. And then again, obviously the interest rates on credit card and these loans are the worst. They're the absolute worst. And then when you have all this debt, like the credit card debt and all this other debt that you can barely even maintain, it really has an effect on your mental health. And then when your mental health goes down, then you think that maybe if I buy myself something nice.
Yes.
Just like how you were talking about, what do they call it? Retail therapy, that, that kind of thing. And then so you dig yourself even deeper.
And it quickly progresses, once you get into it. And as soon as you miss that first payment or you start looking at the minimum payment, things like that, the interest piles up so quickly.
Minimum payment, only $10 a month. Oh shit, nice. I can put another $3,000 on my card.
So Lee's saying that cash only, that's a good way to go. For some people, that's not always the most feasible. Of course, cash is the best. But I think that if you're on top of what you are doing and really being cognizant, it is better to just really don't even go near it until you're ready and you know what you're doing.
Especially credit cards.
Yeah, credit cards can be very dangerous. And it's something that'll haunt you for the rest of your life because it'll set you so far off your financial trajectory that it will take you forever to recover. Like if in your early 20s, you start racking up debts, you rack up a credit card, you get a car on this high interest, and you only have two options. Either one, you're going to be spending years and years paying it off, or two, you're going to go bankrupt and suffer for years and years. So no matter what, you've gone down a terrible path.
And either way, you're still suffering. Yeah. Whether you go bankrupt now or later, it's...
And mentally, you've kind of ruined your whole life's trajectory because all that time and energy spent, and even money spent on this stuff, and the material aspects can't be spent towards, progressing your life, doing better.
A business, something like
even
that.
Even in your own career. Even let's say you're working in construction, you're working whatever, you're doing all these different things. You can't even further that. Let's say you really want to get this tool, or you really want to get this nice pair of boots, or things that will really help you progress. They're just not possible, and because they're not possible, other things are not possible. And so it really changes your whole life. You start messing around with too much debt.
We buy these really nice gifts and say it's from Santa.
Oh, yeah.
That's cheeky.
Oh, yeah.
That's interesting. Well, that's a whole other can of worms.
That is a whole other can of worms. But I was just thinking of that when we were talking.
It really think about that for years. It's like, it's like, okay, so then no one is getting the credit even. Like the positives are some way
Santa,
lost.
I guess, for being good, but then you go to school and or your kid goes to school and he sees another buddy who just got a sick new system like a Nintendo Switch from Santa, and your kid, you're maybe you're going through some hard times, and so you buy him some clothes. So he thinks, oh shit, Santa doesn't love me that much. And, he got him a Nintendo Switch, but I got a T-shirt, so I must be not a good kid or something. And there was a whole campaign that I saw going around this year which was really good, which was tell your kids that the big ticket items are from you and the small ticket items are from Santa.
I just have a problem with buying bullshit. Like, whether it's the guy who can't stop buying, random stupid tech that he's never going to use, or, girls have, not to be sexist, but let's say she's getting makeup.
The makeup is so expensive, man.
Random shit.
Holy shit. Like one tube of lipstick is like 20, 30, 50 bucks. Shit. What is that makeup from? Sephora, yeah.
Oh, no. I mean, they're all
so crazy. I remember I went with my wife and I was just shocked at how much shit was. One little eyeliner for $10, $20. I'm like, holy shit, just use a black marker or a pencil crayon.
Or you get a box of Sharpies.
Yeah, right, a box of Sharpies. $10.
That should never come off.
Sean is saying that debt is the devil. It is a big problem. Debt. It's not debt. Yeah, it's the interest. Because debt itself is natural. Of course, you're gonna have back and forth borrowing, things like that. It's the interest that comes on, and then that's the big problem. It's interest is so complicated you can't even calculate in your head. Anyways, you have to use calculators for, let's say, compounding interest over the next 10 years. You're not gonna calculate in your head, so you have to use a calculator, and you don't realize how big an impact. It's interesting how just changing your car payments from monthly to bi-weekly has not a significant, but it does have a fairly big impact on your payments. Couple $100 over the term for sure.
For sure, and if you get your check every 2 weeks, that's something that you should definitely look into, changing it from monthly to bi-monthly or semi-monthly, I guess. And it'll make a couple $100, I'd say, for sure you'll save.
Yeah. So some of those the credit card rates are pretty interesting. Some numbers here out of this year. Half the respondents, so 50%, says their debt carries about 10% or above. So at least half the people around that 10%. Not
10% interest.
Yeah,
that is fucking.
As far as credit card terms, it's on the better side. So that it's scary. It's still scary. 34% are between 10 and 19, and 16% are above 20%.
Damn.
That is crazy.
And like with credit cards, they do daily compounding, so they really get you on that. Like every single day, your balance is compounded again. And so the interest from yesterday is going to be paid on tomorrow. And
the other thing that's interesting, like you're saying, the people who are stuck with these 20% and above interest rates have been increasing since 2016. This is a 2017 study, so it went up 6% more. So the total was 7%. It went from 9% to 16%.
So that's like not just 7. That's like a 40% increase.
But it's sad to see, to look around to see people who are. January is such a despair month. Everything's all crazy. You can even feel it in the air. December is so jolly and happy, and then January is
very somber.
The somber days. But I think that like one thing that everyone can do is kind of it's not even about doing anything except just being a little bit more educated on the cost. Would people really pay for that $100 thing if they realize it's going to actually cost them $150, $200?
Yeah.
So I think it's really about collectively trying to help each other be making better decisions. That's really.
I think the main solution to this, now it's January, so if you do have debt and you have this credit card debt and you got to pay some interest, just pay it off as quick as you can and start budgeting. You can. I mean, generally, besides maybe some car troubles, you can pretty much budget out everything. You know how much your rent is going to be. When the next month is your kid's birthday, so you're gonna have to spend a couple dollars there, and all this and all these other things. Just budget. Plan it out.
On another note, root beer. How you guys liking the root beer? I know a couple of you guys have got the packages. I know on our end it's been a challenge just to keep it in stock, so that's been awesome.
It's a good problem to have. Obviously, around here we can't keep a full bottle in the office, so we got about a quarter of it left. FOTW, 15% off for retail, 5% off for wholesale. Jeez, I haven't been here for like 2-3 weeks. I've been missing these VanGo Vapes, guys. Good to be back.
Yeah, why don't you give a little summary of your trip? How was that?
How was Toronto?
Ontario as a whole was it was awesome. For the best part about it, it wasn't negative degrees and 20 degrees and snowing. It was like +4 and sunny the whole time. It was good to see everyone. Yeah, shops were busy. A lot of people were out there getting their Christmas gifts and helping people giving the gifts of the smoke-free New Year and whole future. So that was awesome to see. Feedback went really well. Everywhere, especially on the outskirts of the GTA area, went. That's always a good spot to be. Went really well. You guys like your juices really, really sweet out there. I'm on to you guys.
Sweet and creamy. I found cream is.
I know, man. Just sweet fruit. Little dinner with Rose and them. That was awesome. WV.
Oh,
sure. I got it. And I know what it means. We vape.
Oh, that's so
we
funny.
cracked the code.
I wondered that for so long. I was like, what is it? Am I missing something?
Spent Christmas in Montreal, which that was awesome. Met up with Alex at the Homeboys, hung out there for a bit. Did a couple because Montreal's always got stuff going on. I guess they actually call it like the city of festivals or something. There's always like something going on there. Yeah. So it was I love going out there. I gotta say I was really disappointed. I was hoping for a white Christmas. Open the blinds first thing in the morning. Beautiful sunny day. Not a speck of snow.
Oh shit! Right. In Montreal too.
Yeah, in Montreal. Like where do I have to go to get a white Christmas?
Yeah, we got pretty lucky in Canada this year. Joe Van said he likes sweet fruits. So all the way in the UK, sweet fruits. That seems to be the consensus.
Sweet fruits.
Yeah. Sweet. And I think the other thing is why the sweet fruits are gaining a little more popularity than before is I think these new coils are becoming a lot more resilient. With these mesh coils, and they're getting these new cotton, like wood pulp or some type of crazy composites that are being a lot more resilient to the sweeteners compared to before. I think that might be a factor why you're not hearing this coil killer term as much anymore.
What do you find? Autumn says that frozen ophelia is number one still. Cheesecake's catching up. That's good.
Actually, Cheesecake's been really doing some work.
And Churro, actually.
Yeah, Churro out in Alberta, and then kind of overall, Cheesecake's really been stepping it up.
And Nicholas said he got 2 feet of snow. Where are you at, Nick? Yeah, no, it is cool to see all the different areas and how they have, different things are popular. And when we look at the stats and stuff like that, it's really cool to see like which flavors do the best in which areas. Frozen Ophelia, actually, surprisingly, is the number one across the board. Nothing beats Frozen Ophelia. Even root beer didn't even come close to root beer last month. I mean, root beer didn't come close to Frozen Ophelia. And Frozen Ophelia is still number one.
We'll see what happens.
Well,
that'll be cool. But yeah, Frozen Ophelia, number one. Frozen, I know, is number one in Alberta.
Okay, guys, I think we're going to head out of here. First show of the year. Yeah, we will see you at the second show of the year.
Yeah, it was
YouTube as well. We got YouTube. We got our YouTube channel up and running. So make sure you check it out. Subscribe. We have some exclusives just for YouTube. So make sure, check it out. It's some good stuff we're working on, and we'll continue to produce this year. I guess that's our resolution.
Flavor of the week, the root. Great time to try it for the new year. And FOTW.
And I guess advice of the week: make sure you do your budgeting. Don't go too hard. And pay those bills.
Plan now for Valentine's.
Oh, yeah.
Don't get guilted.
Don't worry, Easter's around the corner after that too. So.
But Valentine's is a bad one. And
that is a bad
they're probably so smart because they wait for the last week, then jack up, because every guy is going to go on the last week.
On the last day, or Valentine's Day itself, and buy those fucking $5
This year I'm going to do it in January. I promise. I'm going to do it. Every year,
you buy your flowers.
You buy your flowers. Fake flowers.
You just buy the flower.
No, rock garden. I saw this thing, rock gardens. I'm gonna do that now. You get cool rocks and shit.
You're as precious to me as a rock.
No, it's a thing. It's a thing. Sean is actually the one showing me, so that's a good idea. Anyways, guys, check out rock gardens. Catch us next week. We'll see you later, and check out the root.
Have a good one, guys.